right.
Is that common?
Yeah.
They got a flight down.
Yeah.
And down here. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We're going to do this again.
Okay. I am still wrong. Okay.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of The Lighter Side of the Spectrum. I'm David Coffer. I'm with my friend Kim Kredich, and we're wrapping up a really amazing 3-day experience. It's an inclusive surf camp, officially called the Resonance Surf Camp. But Kim, this was initially your brainchild a few years ago.
Yeah, we had started coming with our 3 sons, one of whom was diagnosed with autism back in 2001. So we started coming to Indo-Jack Surf School. Okay. And then we just kept coming. And finally, I invited all these families for whom I advocated, kids of all abilities and their siblings, to make it a truly inclusive surf camp. And we did that 2016, 17, and 18. And then unfortunately, our son Ben was killed by an impaired driver in August of 2023. And so many people reached out to the Indo-Jack Surf Charity to donate in memory of Ben that we did another surf camp, and I think it sort of helped fund the entire season for Indo-Jack's surf charities. Wow. And then the Peyton Project said, let's take
foundation,
it over. Wonderful foundation
based in Tennessee.
In Tennessee that promotes all types of communication, specifically for Peyton, the letterboard, spelling to communicate. And so they said, we loved it. We want to continue it through the foundation. And so that's exactly what they did. And if you turn around, you can see.
There we go.
There it is. There's the Resonance Surf Camp. And that's actually a silhouette of Ben surfing. He had a great surfing style where he just sort of go like that and then start flapping his wings because it felt like he was flying. He always said that. So yeah, it was just amazing to have this continue, and especially have such a unique perspective on communication and brain-body disconnect, and to connect with the ocean and surfing and with all the supports that anyone would need. It's been really remarkable.
It's so great. I mean, and, every surfer had their own instructor with them out there.
At least one.
At least one, right. Sometimes more. I mean, we had all ages. We had all abilities, different levels of experience. But the level of support is just unprecedented from the instructors and from the families. I mean, that's what really struck me. I mean, that's what I'm going to leave here with.
Yeah, it was originally just this understanding that you can be truly inclusive with all the supports that you need. And I always tied it to inclusion in the schools. That was the big sort of analogy of, hey, with accommodations, modifications, support, you can include, and so that's just, especially with families hanging out together and, hanging out for dinner, not just on the beach,
right.
But it's just, everyone belongs. And that's always been the spirit of the inclusive surf camp. It was called Pushing to the Swell, and now it's called the Resonance Surf Camp. And it's in honor of Ben, and it just feels great.
Ben's spirit.
Definitely.
It's here.
We feel Ben.
We've heard, it's here. And it's just, you mentioned the families, and as, you and I talked off camera, just the last 2 nights getting everyone together for these dinners.
Yes.
At Karen and Chad's
Airbnb,
opened up their Airbnb to us.
And I think that's an incredible model for this moving forward, because we never really did that where everybody came together. They might have stayed in the same hotel, and sort of some families got together.
Maybe go to a restaurant together.
Right, but this was all, pizza night and then taco night last night. And that is magical. It was just magical.
It was magical. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to
go for it? Okay. Yeah. Stone always makes an appearance somehow, one way or the other, on the podcast. His way. He's sitting off camera, enjoying the beach.
Well, he did such an amazing job. He just loved it. Yeah, time of his life. Exactly.
Yeah, he's doing great. So so Kim, what does this mean to you now to see this. Like, I'm kind of like wrapping up on today, and everyone's kind of leaving. Some people are driving 9 hours. I mean, everyone's talking about how we flew across the country, which is a big trip.
Yeah.
Some people drove, like I said, 10 hours.
Because it's an experience that should be replicated a lot. But when you have this type of experience and support and just that sense of belonging, that's Ben's legacy, I will say. Yeah. And if we can sort of create that ripple effect, so to speak, then it will just keep going.
I think that's the message I want to share too, and continue to share. We've done this. I've talked about it a little bit with other events in Seattle, whether it's renting a movie theater, just really helping people across the country. I mean, yes, this is a bigger endeavor. A 3-day surf camp is kind of a bigger endeavor, but not really. Like, you've partnered with a surf school. It doesn't have to be a big endeavor, of course, but it's meaningful. It means so much to the kids. I mean, that's, again, we haven't even talked nearly enough to talk about the smiles that we saw.
Well, and the words that came out, especially last year, of like Cole and was like no, and then he'd spell I want to do this, and it's just so obvious when the heart and the soul is supported and listened to, and I do think that the spelling has given that gift to everyone, and it's opened my mind. I already felt I had a pretty open mind. I had a very open heart, and I learned so much from these spellers. Yeah, and I will say one of my favorite parts of this time here was Peyton sitting on the surfboard, and then he'd just stand up, and he kept standing up. And what the spellers and parents of spellers have taught me is that you can get in these loops. And I'm watching and I'm videotaping, and he kept standing up, and I thought, wait, and I had taken Peyton here in 2020, and I got a picture of him in 2020 where he was kneeling on the board, and it just made me think, And so I just gave a suggestion, like, hey, I think he's kind of in a loop,
right? Like a motor
loop, and he clearly wants to surf, so why not start him off on his knees, or then they ended up standing up. Yeah. And I was telling Jody, I'm like, what can we call this? Because they'd start standing up.
Standing.
And it worked. And it was standing start for spelling surfers or something like that. That they it's different. And you listen, and you got to really think about what they could use, just like the board, like any means of communication. How can we support? How can we include? How can we set them up for success?
Yeah, and the other thing I want to give a shout out to this community, Wrightsville Beach. We've been out to restaurants, and again, everyone's been nothing but supportive, accommodating, respectful. It's been great. It's just been super.
Yeah, it's just I think that Indo-Jack Surf School has brought a lot. It's just commonplace now. I mean, they've done so much for the community here, just to show they, worked with Wounded Warriors, all sorts of kids.
Yeah, right.
With,
Dave was telling me.
Yes, kids with
different
AIDS.
Groups. Yeah.
So that's the legacy of Indo-Jacks, and we're just glad to be a part of it. Yeah.
Dave's going to be a guest. On the podcast. We're going to talk to their guests because they're doing some amazing work. We would love to try to maybe do something, bring it back to the Northwest. You just never know. We talk about, Dave talked about planting seeds, and I love that analogy. That's what we're doing, is planting seeds here, and we'll see what springs up. So, Kim, thank you for including me. Inviting us, including me.
I'm so glad I got to lure you.
Lure
you to the other coast after I went to your coast.
Yeah, that's right. We've been to the other coast the last couple of months. So, thank you. And again, thank you for those of you who have joined us. And we'll catch you next time on the lighter side of the spectrum. All right, clear. Great. Nice.
Yay.